Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be doing a full review of the new Peripera Inkwood Matte Tint, which feature 5 of these colors here. I have done the Inkwood Drop Tint, which I'll put it up here. I will also do a little comparisons at the end of this video so you guys can see what the differences are. But for now, let's focus on this matte tint. With this particular tint, it obviously supposed to give you like a matte tint, but also give you like a blur finish as well. It's also supposed to be really soft and lightweight and feel refreshing on your lips. For the packaging, all colors are different for each packaging, and you're supposed to look at the outside to see what the inside of the color looks like, but just be mindful that it's not necessarily will be the same color, so hopefully my swatches will help you out as well. It is your typical doe-foot applicator with a little bit of a curve in the inside, but be mindful that because it's a little bit curvy, it does pick up a little bit of the excess, so definitely remove some of the excess before actually applying it, because if not, it will just feel a little bit thick on your lips. For the texture, I would say that this is definitely feel very smooth when applying and is very lightweight. The way I would best describe this particular texture is that just imagine the Inkwood drop tint. This is definitely much more of the lighter version of that matte drop tint, if that makes sense, because the matte drop tint is much more a bit of like a what's it, moussey texture, but this one you feel a little bit of that moussiness, but at the same time you feel a little bit of that flowiness from it as well, so it just flows really nicely on your lips, especially applying, hence why I said that it feels really smooth. However, with this particular one, it does pick up quite a bit of your dry patches, so definitely be mindful at that, and just remember to exfoliate before applying this. I do have very dry lips, so you can probably see from my swatches that it does pick up some of my dry patches, unfortunately. However, I just like the finish of it, and it doesn't feel too matte on my lips, which means that it doesn't feel like my lips are going to dry up anytime soon. This tint, I feel it doesn't really stain on your lips as well, and the reason why I say that is because the longevity isn't that long lasting at all, especially after eating or drinking. It will disappear pretty instant. I mean, it will leave a little bit, but you can definitely see the outline remaining and the inner part pretty much disappearing. So I would say the longevity is only like 3 hours max, and you would definitely have to like just touch up at the end as well. In terms of the transfer, I'm just going to show you guys quickly now. It does remove some of your excess. I'm just going to do it a couple more times. As you can see, it does transfer quite a bit, and whether it is mask proof, probably not. I mean, I've tried this before and it's definitely not mask proof, but I have a mask here and I'm going to use the white bit here and just pretty much push it in, move my lips around a little bit. It's like I'm talking, and you can see, look at that. This is also after letting it set for, you know, a while. I would say like maybe 5 minutes or so, and so I just feel that it's definitely not mask proof friendly at all, and it does take out quite a bit of the lip tint, but you can see there's still quite a bit remaining. I think if you want to use this more like a mask proof kind of tint, I would definitely do more of that gradation side, because maybe that way it just prevents it from actually removing more, if that makes sense. But for me, I would say that this is definitely not a long-lasting or mask-proof lip tint at all. In terms of whether the colors are beautiful, it's definitely beautiful. I definitely love it more as a fuller lip rather than a gradation lip. But even as a gradation lip, I feel like with this particular tint, you can see the colors way more obvious when applying as a gradation, because sometimes there are some tints out there when you try to apply a little bit of that gradation look, you may not see the color that obvious, but this one, it does give you very obvious color if you like gradation lip and not like a fuller lip. But for me, I prefer it as a fuller lip, which is what I'm using right now. Without further ado, let's jump straight to the color swatches, and we'll start with number 1. Number 1 definitely leans towards much more of that softer color. It's definitely like a peachy orange base, a little bit of that corally side as well, and I would say that this is definitely the lightest shade in the collection. Then we have number 2, which is a beautiful plum pink color. I would say this is more like a mauvey purpley shade, and I absolutely love colors like this, and I reckon that Peripera definitely achieved this color really nicely. I just love this purpley color look. And you have number 3, which is leaning much more toward the softer side, but also it's much more of like a rosy pinky color shade, which is absolutely beautiful on the lips, both as a gradation and a fuller lip. Then we have number 4, which is another orangey reddish color, definitely much more reddish and orange than number 1, and not so coral as well. And this, however, is a little bit brighter, and for me, I feel like this is more like a warm tone shade. Then the last color, which is what I'm currently wearing right now, depending how you see it, but for me, I see it as a combination of pink and red, but much more leaning towards like a red shade, but you see a little bit of that pink warm undertone underneath as well, which is absolutely beautiful. So overall, I definitely love all of these colors, and I feel like all of these colors are really beautiful on my lips. But if I would have to pick one, it would definitely be number 2, because I absolutely love like plummy pinky purpley shade. For the quick comparisons with the Mood Drop Tint, obviously the texture is completely different. With the Mood Drop Tint, it's much more toward like that airbrushy watercolor kind of texture, and it's definitely much more watery when applying it. And for the Mood Drop Tint, I feel like applying as a gradation is definitely harder than the Mood Matte Tint, because the Mood Matte Tint pick up so much color during the gradation process. It actually does transfer onto your upper lip, which gives you a beautiful finished look, whereas with the Mood Drop Tint, once you apply it on the bottom, it actually set pretty quick. I'm not sure because of the watery texture, but I feel like with the Mood Drop Tint, you know, once you apply it, that's it, it just set quickly. And for the colors, I'll show you guys like comparisons, differences as well. But you can see the Mood Drop Tint is much more like corally, much more brighter and softer looking as well. But the Mood Matte Tint, this particular collection, is much more obvious, much more pigmented as well. In terms of the longevity, the Mood Drop Tint definitely lasts a little bit longer, probably an extra hour, but they are both similar length, I guess, where you definitely have to touch up during the day as well. To end this video, I will show you guys quick comparisons of this Mood Matte Tint with some other Peripera collection I have as well in terms of the color similarities. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!